Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to the Fit Lawyer Pod. I am your host, Fit Lawyer Julia. I hope everybody had a great holiday season as well as a good start to your New Year's. Um, I had a very good holiday season. I don't have any family in San Diego, so I spent Thanksgiving and Christmas with I spent Thanksgiving with um, my friend from law school. She invited me over to her home for Thanksgiving, so I am super duper thankful for that. And her mom actually loved me so much that she invited me over for Christmas in Tehachapi. And I've never heard of Tehachapi. I've had no idea of the existence of Tehachapi, but it's a beautiful little small town, kind of nestled in the mountains. But the closest big city, I guess, would be Bakersfield. Excuse me. So I went there for a few days for Christmas, but I spent Christmas with my best friend in Sacramento and her kids. Because at the end of the day, like Christmas is about the kids. Like it's about family and all that. But honestly, like I love seeing how excited her kids get when they open up the presents. She has a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old, and she also has a 10-year-old stepson from her husband's previous relationship. So it's just really cute to see, like, again, to see how excited they get. But I also just love seeing the kids interact because it's such a different interaction, like regardless of how young I think I look or how young I feel, um, those kids remind me that I'm not. Um, but yeah, New Year. I don't want to say New Year, new me, because it's like, let's be real, a change of the calendar isn't all of a sudden going to transform you to a whole different person. Although although my birthday is December 31st, so I feel like if anybody can say new year, new me, it would be me because I'm legitimately a whole ass year older. But it's cool. I'm not tripping about that. I think aging is a blessing because not everybody gets to be my age, right? Like some people will never see 32, and I'm blessed to be aging, and I don't fear aging. And honestly, like I feel so much better at 32 than I did at 22. Like I'm probably healthier too, because at 22 I was just partying my face off. Like I was probably drinking 3 to 4 nights a week, maybe. Like I was living for the weekend, I was partying, I was drinking, I was not working out. Again, I was not working out like at all. Like I used to say the only time I run is when there is an open bar event or if I'm late for a flight. And again, I never went to the gym or anything like that. I was at 22, I was in law school, still just very, very young and very insecure, kind of thought I was the shit, but I really was not. um, and 32 just feels, I'm not gonna lie, like I used to think 32 was so old. I would like, and now I'm kind of like, 32 is not old. You're super young, girl. There's plenty of life left. Um, and it's like, I don't know. Like I just feel like 10 years ago, if I imagined my life at 32, it would not be what it is today, I guess. Like, I think like a lot of women and, especially being Chinese with my cultural norms and the stereotype placed on women, like I've always imagined that I would be married with kids by now, but clearly, clearly that is not the situation, okay? And you know what? That is okay. Like that is okay. And that is a PSA announcement for all women. Like there is not a correct time frame to do certain things, whether that's getting your education, whether that's getting married, whether that's having children. Like there is like a societal standard norm, timeline, but it's bullshit. The right time is the right time for you. And again, whether this be, whatever it is in your life, education, career, children, whatever it is, it's never too late to go back to school. It's never too late to fall in love. And I mean, unfortunately, biologically, it can be too late to have children biologically, but it's never too late to be a parent because there's always adoption and there's always fostering. So I'm under the firm belief that nothing is too late in life and you're never late for anything. You're always on time because the time that it happens for you is the right time. Um, and I think because of that, it's given me a lot of peace and reduced a lot of anxiety for me. Because I think when I was like in my mid or late 20s, it was kind of like, oh shit, like I'm almost going to be 30 soon and I'm still super single. And it was very much like dating to check a box. It was like dating so I can meet these certain deadlines, like have married get married and have children by 30. Like, but now, now that I've already blew that deadline, I feel actually so much less stress, right? Like, and I think it's also the fact that my mom is not tripping anymore because I think she realizes like it's not something that can be rushed into it, and it's most definitely not something I want to force. And so I think now like dating gives me I don't know if freedom is the right word, but it does give me a lot less anxiety because I'm not as worried on whether this guy likes me or not. Um, I'm more concerned on whether we are a good fit, if that makes sense. Because before it was like, it wasn't like I was desperate, but it was like, oh, like he checks all the boxes. He's got a good education. He's got a good career. He's handsome. Like, yeah, yeah, yeah. I felt like as long as he fit, as long as he was like physically attractive, I was attracted to him and he checked all the boxes. I was like really eager to move shit along. But now that like I'm already over 30 and that deadline has already been blown, I'm not in a rush like that. Like obviously he's still got to be physically attractive. Obviously there's still certain things that like I look for, but I'm okay with like taking things slow, which almost is ironic. Now that I'm older, I'm like willing to take things slow, but it's like I think I'm willing to do that because I really, really want to see if we are a good fit and if we're going to be compatible, right? Um, there's good looking people everywhere. And I also don't want him to want me because he's physically attracted to me and I check all the right boxes for him. Because people could check off the right boxes, but if they're not a good fit for you, then it doesn't matter if they check all the boxes. And I think also now, like, I just have so much less tolerance for bullshit. And I think the other really big thing is that I'm just not afraid to let a man go. Whereas before, if we vibed right, if he was super handsome or whatever, I'd be like, oh, but he's so handsome and he's so sweet and he's so this, he's so that. I keep making up excuses for his shortcomings. And I think I'm just at a point where I'm out of excuses for them. If they're not acting right, then bye, like, and okay, so I'll take that back. If they're not treating me the way I want to be treated, then bye. Then clearly we're not a good fit. Clearly we have different dating styles. Um and I think everybody deserves to be with someone that they're happy with, who's going to treat them right, and this goes both ways, like male and females. Um while I do have a lot more girls reaching out to me about their dating woes, there are guys who have opened up and are very candid with me about their dating woes as well. Um, so, and also, like, full disclaimer, I, I'm not a dating expert or anything of that sort, and I'm probably not probably, I'm very unqualified to give dating advice, given the fact that I've literally only had two serious relationships. Like, one was when I was 17 years old in high school, and the last one was when uh I was in like my late 20s, like 27. Um and that was not exactly a happy, healthy relationship, and that's not something I would want to go back to, and that's not something I would wish upon anybody. But I do take that relationship as a life lesson, like a lesson learned. I learned so much from that relationship and I grew so much from that relationship. So therefore, while he and I are not together, I wouldn't say like it was a waste of time or it was bullshit or I regret it. Like I don't. Um and I wish him well. I wish him love. I wish him to be in the relationship that he deserves to be in, and I wish him nothing but happiness. Like, he deserves that, as do everybody, really. And when when people like talk to me about their relationship woes or their dating woes, like, I don't know, I just feel like the common issue is just communication, whether that's a lack of communication or miscommunication. And that can be both the actual words spoken as well as the time and place. Because I think when and where to have a conversation is really important. Um, and how you have those conversations are also really important. Um, one thing that I am working on improving and doing is to set boundaries and set boundaries, but in a respectful way, and to be honest, and but also in a respectful way. Like, I don't want anything to ever come off as like hurtful or malicious or anything like that. Um, And again, it takes time. Like I used to be super hot-headed. Some people would not say used to, but so I can be a hothead. I confess, but that is something that I'm actively working on. And to be honest, like growing my faith and going to church and having like these women Bible studies have been really, really helpful for me. I'm also learning to take pause and respond rather than just give an immediate reaction. I think there's a big difference between responding and reacting. And I used to be very reactive. Um, and so this year, I definitely want to work on taking pause and responding. And I think that is just really applicable in all relationships, whether like romantic relationships, relationships with your friends, with your family, with your siblings, whatever. Like it personally has just not benefited me in any type of way to be reactive. And as you've heard in my previous episode with Pat McManus, like he's maintained a really good relationship with all of his previous employers, something that I was not able to do, which, probably could have benefited my career, especially when I went solo. But that's, I'll just have to chalk those up to a lesson learned. Um, and, speaking of past episodes, I do have big plans, big plans for this podcast this year. I definitely want to do more solo episodes as well as get some really cool interviews. I still have a handful of interviews from last year that was previously recorded that I still need to go back and edit and publish. It's just amazing. The It's just amazing to hear so many people's stories, their walks of life, the different things they've gone through, the different experiences everybody had, whether that is, becoming a licensed attorney, becoming a professional bodybuilder, building your business from ground up, or just life adversities. Everybody just has such a beautiful story. And I'm so, so thankful for every guest that's come on so far to share their stories and just being so candid and everything. Um, I'm super excited, and honestly, I want to hear what you guys want to hear, like I'm an open book, my life's an open book. Whatever you guys want to know, whatever you guys want to hear, please let me know and I will try to create more content tailored to those. Um, I again, I don't feel qualified to give dating advice, but funnily enough, um, I actually get a lot of people asking me for relationship advice. Like honestly, like both males and females, I've had friends send me their Hinge match or their Bumble match or whatever. Be like, hey, like, what do you think of this guy? Like, blah blah blah. Or like, hey, I'm going on a date tonight. Like, this is what I know about him so far. What do you think? And I'm always careful with people's feelings, right? I'll always let them know, or I'll always ask them, do you want my honest opinion or do you just want me to be a supportive friend? Because sometimes my honest opinion be a little savage, especially if it's just between me and a friend. I'm gonna give it to you straight. But if you, at the same time, if you just want some support, I can do that too. Um, Again, it's like I said earlier, it's just about communication. Um, and as far as like my dating life this year, I think I'm just gonna let Jesus take the wheel on that one. I personally just don't have any desire to like do the whole swiping thing, the small talk thing, and what I call actively dating, like, taking time out of my day and my attention and time for all that. Like I'm just not in the mood to be actively dating. But if God wants to put a good man in front of me, who am I to say no? I'm here to receive. But yeah, I'm very excited for this new year. I'm very excited and it's a leap year this year. So we get an extra day to have all the possibilities, extra day of sunshine, extra day of possibilities, and an extra day to be blessed. I'm super excited for, I already said what's, you know, the upcoming plans I have for this podcast. And I really want to hear back from you guys. Like, what do you want to hear? Do you guys like the solo episodes? Do you like it when I bring on guests? What type of guests do you guys like? What kind of topics do you guys want to hear? Um, yeah, let me know. But I will be back. Oh, and if you like this podcast, make sure you subscribe and hit a like. Thanks. I just feel like everybody says that at their shows. So yeah, if you could do that, I would appreciate it. Bye.